of those questions you always sort of ask, don't you? And especially when you're growing up and the wonderment of martial arts. What would happen if a Shaolin trained guy took on like a wrestler or a judoka? We're going to find out right now, Dragon. And that's pretty cool.
Representing India, Kantharaj Agasa Konodiga.
Kantharaj Agasa, one of the brightest emerging talents in Indian mixed martial arts, had an amazing 9-0 start to his career, and it was against good opposition.
He was basically born into a wrestling family, and he was surrounded by this environment. He later on went to go study judo and just absolutely fell in love with just that art of judo. And you really see it in his game. He's got such top-heavy, huge waves here in one championship. So this guy is making a serious debut.
I spoke about the pressure cooker, the cauldron of being on the biggest martial arts promotion on the planet, won championship for the first time, but also his first time competing outside of India or the Middle East. Does that add even more pressure? The travel, going to a foreign country you've never been to before, and having to perform on the big stage.
You know, I asked him about that. I was like, this is the first time you're competing away from your home country. You're not going to have the support. You're not going to have your family, and everything's going to be different. And he's like, Mitch, I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to show you guys my skills. He was pumped.
It's a mixed martial arts contest set for 3x5 at flyweight. It's India versus China, a wrestler versus a Shaolin trained striker.
And now, this match is 3 rounds of 5 minutes in a one flyweight mixed martial arts contest. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, he stands at 170 centimeters tall, holding a mixed martial arts record of 12 wins and 3 losses. Training at a Sunken International Fight Club. Representing China. Stepping into action is the Hunter, and introducing his opponent out of the red corner, he stands at 165 centimeters tall, holding a mixed martial arts record of 11 wins and 2 losses. Training at an Indian Combat Sports Academy, representing India. Get ready for Kantharaj Agasa Konodiga. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Mohammed Sulaiman.
Come athletes to the center, please. Both of you understand the rules, yeah? Keep it clean, keep it active. Obey my instruction at all time. Touch glove back to your corner.
Final instructions from Mohammed Sulaiman. Style versus style. Which style of martial art was superior to another style of martial art? And here you have 2 completely contrasting styles. An Indian wrestler against a Chinese Shaolin temple-trained kickboxer. That's pretty awesome, Mitch.
It was, and speaking to Xie Wei about his Shaolin experience, he says it was the toughest thing he's ever been through. But he's got to stop moments just like that. Beautiful job digging the underhooks to stop Agasa's first attempt at a takedown.
I mean, Mitch, when you grew up watching Jackie Chan films like I did with my dad, you watch movies like Shaolin Wooden Man and you see the Shaolin training, and now to see a Shaolin trained guy here at one championship doing so well, it's awesome.
He's doing very well so far to stop these takedowns, but you can see Agasa's got a deep single leg. He's doing a good job of stuffing that head down. I like the way he's attacking that head, not allowing Agasa to chain into another takedown. Beautiful job to dig the underhook and pull Agasa up.
Agasa's going to have some trouble with landing these takedowns. That shot was from far away, earning the takedown right there. But yeah, he's going to have trouble as he's shooting in because shooting from a distance.
But the thing about Agasa is he's got so many tools at his disposal. He can put takedowns together relentlessly to continually attack them because of his wrestling background coupled with his judo background. But Xie Wei is going to have to defend these things all night long because Agasa is relentless in his takedown attempts.
Yeah, I would caution, if I was in his corner, I would caution Agasa on these takedown attempts and making sure he's just not blowing too much energy on each of these attempts here, because Xiewei's doing a good job of defending them. He earned that takedown before with the hip toss, but then, only stayed on the ground for a second or two until Xiewei was back to his feet.
But when you get used to grappling your entire life, you get very energy economic when you go for these takedown attempts. And it's actually sometimes more strenuous to defend those takedowns and force to grapple when you're not used to it.
100%.
If Xiewei manages to bounce back to his feet straight after them.
Okay, so the way that I score a takedown on my scorecards is that right here, he's hitting this takedown. Now, if he actually gets this takedown to the ground, let's say Xiewei hits his hip and he's scooting across the ground, Agasa actually has to finish the takedown and secure a position. Even if it's guard, a neutral position, he has to secure the position. If they're still kind of somewhat in a scramble on the ground and Xiewei's able to get back up, then it wasn't an earned takedown.
Overhook on the right arm here from Xiewei. Past the halfway point of the opening round. Low single here from Agasa, the Indian wrestler.
See, in a takedown attempt like this, Agasa is carrying Xiewei's weight.
Some strikes getting off now from Xiewei. Hooking punches. Agasa out of dodge.
Looks, I spoke about it at the open. Man, when he gets you hurt, he jumps all over you. And the minute he had a target open to him, he started to let go of those shots.
Xiewei does have 6 in the last 6 knockouts. 100% finishing rate.
You can see Agasa's taking some big, deep breaths. And Xiewei is coming forward with that left hand cocked and loaded.
They call Xiewei the hunter. You can see him stalking his prey at the moment. High left roundhouse kick there from the Shaolin-trained kickboxer.
I'll tell you what, Michael, I would actually like to look at the Shaolin curriculum for takedown defense, because apparently they do a good job in the kickboxing camps.
Will drop down for a low single. Couldn't get it there. Short knees from Xiewei. Sprawls out nicely, the Chinese athlete. Wrist control here from Agasa. What's he looking to do with the wrist there, Rich?
Well, if he's able to hold on to the wrist, it keeps Xiewei from being able to tee off on him. But the one thing that left him open there was Xiewei was able to still land a knee there, so he was just using it to get back up.
Xiewei avoiding the takedowns. Glances towards the big screen here in the stadium to see how much time is left. 40 seconds on the clock. Oh, nice little palm heel strike there from Xiewei. Don't see those too often. Rich, something else you don't see. Is it permitted to use a shuto strike, a knife hand strike?
It is permitted. Obviously, the most effective place to use that would be into the throat, but that's an illegal strike.
Side of the neck, though?
Yeah, you could, absolutely. To the body, to the head, anything.
Oh, beautifully done there from Xiewei. The punch, the kick. Well, certainly the first part of the round was Agasa. Second part of the round, Xiewei. Crossing elbow right on the bell from the Chinese kickboxer.
Yeah, Agasa doesn't quite have the same pop to his takedown attempts in that latter part of the first 5 minutes. You can see why. He was just going after these takedown attempts with everything that he had. And Xiewei was just putting a stop to that. And that's what we were talking about. Once he gets you stopping these takedown defense and doing everything right, digging for the underhooks and pushing the head down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Michael, Agasa came out at the beginning of the round, earned the takedown, a little bit of control on the ground there, but Xiewei, once he was able to get back to his feet, and he had defended a takedown prior to that, he's done a great job of defending the takedown, predicting where this fight is going to go, keeping it standing, landing some effective punches. So I actually, after 5 minutes of action, have him with a pretty decent margin at this point in time.
Okay.
How much does the takedown defense factor into it?
A takedown is worth more than a takedown defense, because you have to realize that the person is attempting a takedown. They're
To drift into the power side of Xiewei, which could be dangerous. Got to go counterclockwise, which is where he goes right now.
But then you can see Xiewei changes stances. Yep. So whatever way that Agasa starts to drift to, that's when Xiewei changes his stance to match it. So he's going to force him right up against that wall and look for his openings.
Again, another spoiled takedown attempt there.
Agasa's going to have to figure out how he can set those takedowns up, because whether it's with his punches or head feints or and start chain wrestling a little better, because these shots that he's taking from a distance, he's not going to end up landing the takedown.
Turning back kick from Siaway. Measures with the lead hand, cracks with the left leg. Nicely done from Siaway. That was a beautiful kickboxing technique.
It's usually easier for a grappler to initiate a takedown when your opponent comes forward, especially when they start letting go with the hands. But Siaway's not giving him that opportunity. His footwork is putting him in very good positions to let go of the strikes. But then
Siaway, belly button through the back, still controlling center circle. Really forcing him.
I want to see more body shots landed by Siaway. That right kick lands to the body.
There's the right kick to the leg, Mitch, you called it. Front kick up high, didn't target. Drifts off to his left again, Agasa.
The thing about Siaway is he throws most of his strikes to the head. He's a knockout artist. He's always trying to go for the finish. But I'd like to see him start touching up the legs and the body just to slowly start to wear down your opponent, and then the head will open up.
It's in again for a single leg. Defense once more from Siaway. It's going to be frustrating now, Rich, for Agasa.
It is, and that was another shot from distance without any kind of real setup to it. You know, no head feint, no. Now this is exactly what Mitch was talking about before. At least Siaway was moving forward on that one. Agasa was able to get in deeper and almost earn the takedown, and this is exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of the round. I would not score that as a takedown on my card because he didn't actually secure any kind of position.
Mitch, you feel that after the first 45 seconds of the first round, where there were takedowns from Agasa, that Siaway has gotten his number. He's worked him out.
He keeps threatening with the same takedown. It's that same single leg now. He's not really putting things together. Like here, he's not transitioning to the other leg. He's not trying to get double underhooks. He's not going for head and arm throws. He's just basically attempting that single leg over and over again. But what he's lacking is he's lacking the setups for these takedowns. I would love to see him put a few punches in front of that takedown attempt just to get Siaway's hands to come up. Because now you can see how Siaway carries his hands low in his guard, so he's able to defend those takedowns easier.
Let's go.
Break from referee Mohammed Sulaiman. Under 30 seconds remains. Second round of 3. It's been a good 5 minutes almost here from Siaway. Lunges with that right hand. He really powered up on that. There's the overhand elbow. Siaway hunting for a finish with the strikes.
As soon as he shoots, his hands immediately come down to stop the takedown. He starts pushing the head, and he's got great balance. He says he spent hours on the mat working on that takedown defense.
You see that flying knee towards the end there? A little bit of Cirque du Soleil from Siaway.
Agasa is cut too. He earned a cut on that. I don't know if it was flying knee that scraped him or right there at the end, but he's cut on top of the forehead.
Mitch, how much is it sapping the gas tank of Agasa that he was continually circling and being forced to circle away the entire 5 minutes there from Siaway?
I think that the movement is okay, but it's these failed attempts that are really sucking it out of Agasa, because he just, not only is it physically draining, but also mentally demoralizing.
As we look at Rich's unofficial scorecard there, just take a look at both of them in the corner here, and you'll see how there's not a drop of sweat. Very calm, composed is Siaway, breathing heavy. And looking deflated is Agasa.
Yeah, and just to comment on that before I talk about my scorecard, Michael, you could hear Siaway at the end of that round when he was throwing his strikes, like really he committed to that knee, and you could hear the ki, if you want to call it that, as he was striking. Like he's putting a lot of leather in everything he's throwing right now because he's that comfortable.
He might not get off his stool. He's not getting off his stool. It's over.
Wow.
Well, Agasa could not answer the bell.
Just for clarity purposes, the doctor did not stop that. That was Agasa from the cut. You saw them tending to the cut that I had mentioned at the end of the last round.
I said that Agasa was deflated. You could see it in our split screenshot, and, well, jubilation for that man. The Shaolin kickboxing style trumps the